Hello, Feuzion. My name is Alex Fuse, host of Fusion News. Today is the first out of four shows of the day. We have a very busy day here on Fusion News, and I am on the phone with Jomboy from Talkin Yanks. He is a very busy guy, and especially now that the Yankees are almost to the regular season. What are we, just 16 days away, I believe. Jomboy, the Yankees had a very busy offseason. They have a new manager. They have one of the greatest outfielders in the game on the team again this year. A lot of things going on in spring training. Of course, they just got Neil Walker yesterday, and that's going to be the first question I ask you. Why exactly did the Yankees sign Neil Walker yesterday?
My gut instinct, my very gut instinct was that it was because Wade actually got hurt. We saw him go down with an injury. Thought it looked serious, but it wasn't. I've completely gone away from that gut instinct. That was wrong. I think it's just a depth move. When a guy falls down to $5 million, not even, it's $4 million with incentives on a one-year deal. Why pass up that offer? It's the other teams are allowing players like Neil Walker to fall into Cashman's lap. We only had so much money to spend, and people are falling into that area, which picked him up. So it's depth, it's extra help. I don't know where he's going to fit in. I thought starting second baseman, but the way that they talked about it yesterday made it seem like Wade is still fighting for that job. So we'll see how it plays out, but it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to add a proven veteran bat and good clubhouse guy to the team.
Definitely. And I was surprised that they actually got Neil Walker. Not only that the Yankees could sign, but he is a great ball player. And the fact that the Yankees, according to some of the reports I heard, it might have been changed today, but the Yankees were the only team to offer him any contract. And I know I saw some statement saying that it got competitive, Brian Cashman said at the end, right before he signed with the Yankees, but I'm not really sure. But it surprised me most that Neil Walker wasn't signed yet to a contract. But another reason why I was surprised is that the Yankees have these prospects in the minor league system that I thought for sure were going to be on the roster, but maybe they're going to wait just let them start out in the minor leagues and then make their way up into the majors later on in the season.
Yeah, I think it's a bit crazy that we were going to roll with two infield spots, true rookies, who you don't even know if they can do it at this level yet. Of course, we want to believe that they will, but it's still they're an unproven, and in a win now mode, everything else is set to win. It makes sense that Cashman wanted to, lock down guys who, hey, we know that this guy at least has the talent to play in this league. It's not a complete question mark. We love our prospects. It doesn't hurt the prospects. They're young, and it's better to not have to rush prospects and make them force their way into the league. I believe Cano did back in 2005. It was like, okay, we can't keep him down anymore. And they moved Tony Womack or whoever it was into the outfield, something like that. So if Andujar and Gleyber go down to AAA and they force their way up, Cashman's not going to ignore that. I don't think this hurts the prospects' chances. It's just you always want proven talent in every spot. Now we have proven talent in every single spot in the order.
Definitely. Let's move on to the outfield role. Of course, they got Giancarlo Stanton from the Marlins over the offseason, but one outfielder may not be able to start on the opening day roster because of his injury to his oblique, and that's Jacoby Ellsbury. And a lot of Yankee fans are frustrated that he is still on the team and no other team wanted him during the offseason. So what's your position on Jacoby Ellsbury staying with the Yankees? And I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm going to ask you two questions in one. What's next for Jacoby Ellsbury?
All right. Well, part one is might be a tough to hear for some Yankee fans listening to the show. Talking Yanks, me and my co-host Jake, we beg Yankee fans almost every episode when Ellsbury comes up, quit hating this guy so much. He was offered however much money it was. Like, if you were offered that money, you'd take it too. He has, when he's healthy, which is also a problem, he's not a dud. Jacoby Ellsbury has never been the anchor tearing this team down. He's never been Clifford. He's never been Carter. He's consistently what he is. And what he isn't worth the money, but he's a great fourth outfielder to have on the team. He had 22 steals last year and good numbers. he's a good fourth outfielder. I'm glad he's not our starting center fielder like he was last year. I think him and Hicks will rotate more than you think, since Hicks is just as injury prone as Ellsbury. After this year, to answer your second question, maybe enough money has been chunked off, that we can try and trade him or get rid of him, because he doesn't play into the future. But for this year, he's a proven guy on the bench who can go out there and play and steal a base. And I mean, what's tough is his personality is really boring. He brings nothing to the table with likability and personality. Not that he's a villain. He's just super boring. He rarely smiles. And then on top of that, the contract sucks. And he was a Red Sox. There's a lot of things that the fans have as ammo to hate Ellsbury. His play isn't really one of them.
Definitely. A lot of Yankee fans probably agree with you, and some of them don't. I know a lot of people like Hicks and a lot of people like Ellsbury, but let's switch gears now. And one major thing that ESPN has been promoting, and I actually asked this question to Jack Curry a few weeks ago, over and under for 100 home runs for Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. What do you think?
Whenever I get asked this, I say under, just because you cannot look Aaron Judge in the face and say, I need you to hit 50 home runs in his second season in the MLB. I know he did it last year, but that's not the benchmark. If Judge doesn't hit 50 home runs, if he hits 42, if he hits 48, that's not a bad season. So I don't even want to predict it. I don't want to talk it into a possibility that needs to happen. So if you give me the number 100, I'm going under that. I think Giancarlo is going to hit more than 50, but again, you can't look any player in the face and say, if you don't hit 50 home runs, it's a bad year. That's crazy. So just for that reason, I always predict under.
One player on the Yankees that I believe that really needs to have a successful season this year to really prove himself is Greg Bird. How important is Greg Bird to this Yankee team?
Well, the team is so stacked that I don't think one player makes or breaks the entire lineup. I hope maybe Judge or Giancarlo, maybe that guy. So if Bird, if the worst happens, I don't think he's make or break. But if he's what he can do, I actually have the numbers in front of me randomly because someone asked me this on Twitter earlier. He's played 75 games healthy in the majors. So there's a chunk of games he played at the beginning of last year when he had a broken bone in his heel. I'm not counting those stats because those were broken bone stats. He had, in those 75 games, he hit 19 home runs, 56 RBIs, 13 doubles with a 335 on base percentage. That's on pace for 41 home run season with 120 RBIs. This guy's good when he's healthy, and if he is that player for us, that'll be bigger. That'll be huge. Because if we can plug that guy in between the righties, he could carry us for a little bit. And I had Jack Curry on Talkin Yanks, and he said the same thing. I think there's going to be a time in the season where people are saying Greg Bird is the key right now.
Definitely. So you talked about your podcast, Talkin Yanks. How exactly did this podcast come up, and how exactly did you start it?
I just kind of started it. I live out in California now, so I don't have a lot of Yankee fans around me. I can call my family and some friends every now and then. So I took to Twitter last year and just said, I'm going to dive into, the Yankees Twitter and start tweeting out, live tweeting games, talking with people. I like talking about the Yankees. That got kind of a following, and I've always liked doing. My heart is in video content world. I was a video editor and stuff. I've done web series and other things like that. So I wanted to say, how can I do a video where I can sit and talk? So we did it on YouTube for a while. It was fun. We had people sending questions. It was a small thing. And then it kind of just kept gradually growing and growing and growing. And we have a really great, I don't even like calling them fan base because I talk to them all day as if, they're just my friends. So just listeners. We have really great listeners on the show. It's me and Jake is my co-host, my best friend from high school, so we have a good rapport. It's fun. We're not trying to get too serious ever. Baseball is a fun sport that should be enjoyed. At times it will break your heart, and we'll have those episodes too. But so now it's we have a really good base of listeners, and we're trying to grow it this year. We're gonna be down in Tampa this weekend through the weekend of the 24th, talking to fans, making videos, having some fun.
That's awesome. One interview that who would you love to interview most on Talking Yanks?
Well, Greg Bird's up there because I think he gives one of the most candid and best interviews. But if you're talking like all-time Yankees, this is kind of going to sound weird, but I think Luis Sojo would be up there.
Oh, wow.
Nick Swisher, more of the fun guys that I know are going to bring in. Because you can say Derek Jeter, but Derek Jeter's not going to give you anything fun in an interview. It's just, I mean, it would be a thrill of a lifetime to talk to Derek Jeter. To do it on air, I don't know how good that would be, just because, you know, Jeter, he's a boring interview on purpose, which is good for him. It's worked wonders. But I really actually want to interview Boone too. I want to try and hunt Boone down.
Yeah. One or two would be John Sterling and Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah, A-Rod's been awesome now. When he goes around, the interviews he gives, how candid and open he is, really fun to listen to. And John Sterling, I don't know, I feel like you ask one question and you get half-hour answer.
Yeah, that's John Sterling, one of my favorites of all time announcers. So, Jomboy, last question for you. What is your gut prediction for this upcoming Yankee season? Are Yankee fans going to be happy at the end of the season, or are they going to be heartbroken again?
I am an optimist. There is no point in being a pessimist. I don't understand why people do it. I think that they're innately stuck like that and they can't change. There's no point in being a pessimist. I'm an optimist. This is going to be a great year. It's going to be incredibly fun, and we're going to be walking away winners.
All right, sounds good.
Why root for it or say anything other than that is going to happen? You know, that's my mindset.
Definitely. Well, Jomboy, where can the Yankee fans and the Feuzion follow you on Twitter and listen to Talkin' Yanks?
At Talkin' Yanks on Twitter. My personal is at Jomboy_. And Talkin' Yanks is available on all audio, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. If it plays podcasts, it should play Talkin' Yanks, and if it doesn't, let me know because I got to fix that.
All right, sounds good. Thanks again for coming on my show tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, definitely.
All right, have fun.
Thank you. You too. All right, Feuzion, thanks again for listening to this interview. I will be going live in about 12 minutes with Brian Hagen, who was a Dodgers statistician, and now he's moving to New York City. It's going to be a great show. Thanks again for watching, and I will be seeing you very soon. Thanks for watching.